you know,
specific...
to get to that point, it would... I wouldn't say that it's going to break my heart because I'm happy I celebrate with them, right? But you know, it's a pleasure to see somebody come to you and say, listen, I bought that car. Do you see that car? Yes. Remember, you helped me with 1, 2, 3 years, and then look at me now. Now this is where I am. But I see it more like a teacher. If you're a teacher and you produce doctors, you can't be jealous of the doctors that you produce, right? Mm. You feel proud about it, in as much as you may not be there yourself. So the problem with us as mentors is, when I help you get opportunity, now I want to be a partner in that business. And now you're creating a conflict of interest, because now how are you going to focus on mentoring this person when you now have a business interest? You hear a mentor say, hey, you know what, we've got a deal. And you know, how much can I put into this? You know, how much do you want me to invest into it? You have missed it already.
Then the relationship is diluted.
It's diluted because now you're not going to focus on mentoring. You're going to focus on making money.
Business deals.
You see? So what happened over years, my take was that if I say I'm going to mentor you, whether you go up and climb Kilimanjaro, I'm not going to go with you to take the glory. Go alone, come back with the trophy.
That's great.
But when you come back, I still gonna assess and say, now I think we have dealt with all the elements, but I think there is pride that we have to bring down now. Because if I don't observe your behavior, because there's a culture there, there's a behavior. If I don't observe those things, tomorrow with your millions, you can still collapse. And it's gonna come back to me. You say, as a mentor, what did you do? You see? Yeah. So for me, I have businesses that I've seen grow from 0 to millions and millions. I've seen businesses that have worked well and all that. And I'll tell you one thing, that some of these businesses are the ones that says, you know what, Chief, can you get an office in Sandton? We'll see how we can finance you, you know, because we feel that you're worth that much. You understand what I'm saying?
That's great.
So that for me, it's a pride of becoming more like a father to say, these people can take care of me at the end of the day, you know. But again, don't work with a business and we always blame the mentees for not succeeding, because the credibility is in you as the mentor to say, what have you produced? For you to say, here are the results that I'm doing. So yes, it's working in a way, but make sure that you've walked the journey with your mentee.
Thank you very much. Emmanuel, Derrick touched on something about open doors for entrepreneurs as a mentor or as a coach of that entrepreneur. Could you share with us, you know, what are the specific doors that have been opened to you, you know, via your mentors or coaches?
You know, something that also, I mean, I've learned on my journey growing up. I had this zeal and drive. I mean, I formalized my companies when I was 18 and 19. And every time when I read about an influential entrepreneur or a business person, I'll Google them, I'll check them, I'll send them emails. You know, I want to just so bad to be in their space. And because it was the desire, you know, to succeed and do well. But also as you grow as a person, you learn that it's always about also not being able to compromise your values and beliefs. And I see so many of us, you know, we chase people because of we have read about them, that they are multi-millionaires, they are billionaires, and automatically, you know, you want to be in their space, or you assume they will be good mentors to you. So I had to go back to the drawing board and find, you know, mentors that really, you know, respect who I am, and also I respect who they are and what they stand for. And because sometimes maybe you just read about Emmanuel being on Forbes. You don't know how I got there to go on Forbes. Some people, you know, it's true, in business in South Africa, they compromise who they are, you know, to access money or to do well. So I had to go back to the drawing board and really evaluate and be honest. Who are you, Emmanuel? What do you want to be known for, and what do you stand for? And God being grateful, I was able to get right mentors that, you know, we speak the same language. You know, I don't have to compromise anything, and they understand who I am. And by doing so, I was able to see more result. I mean, people like Meputi, they really has played such a significant role in my life. She was able to invest on a couple of my projects. That's why I met Yosir Ramaphosa's. I've done stuff with them. Bona Mohali, I mean, he's an exceptional leader. And he's such a very humble person. So for me, it was a matter of being honest with yourself and who you are and what you stand for. And it's key that even, as an entrepreneur, you seek mentors. Be honest with yourself. What do you want out of life? And never compromise your values, in order for you to get ahead. So I had to, go back and, have an introspection.
Yeah.
And eventually God was faithful to bring the right people. And it was easy to work with them. Until today, it's still easy.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We'll open the floor for one or two other questions or, let's, where's the roving mic? The second mic? All right, please go.
Hi, I'm quick one is how do you get to say, okay, now this is a time when I feel like I need a mentor in life? And I'd like to use myself as a study case now. I've been in business now from 2009, and I failed greatly. I think when my business went down, I lost my mind as well. But then I came back up, and things are fine now. So that taught me a lot. So I have to compete with me knowing that if I failed and I picked myself up and I built the business up again, why do I think I need a mentor? And when do I get to say, it doesn't matter how far you've traveled, you need a mentor. How do I get to,
Can I see your name?
Zoro.
Zoro.
Yeah.
So that's a good question, But remember, sometimes mentors hunt for you. When they see you succeed, they want to associate with you and say, I can mentor you.
Oh.
Do you know that?
I didn't.
Yes. There are those who just come closer to you and say, hey, Chief, come with this.
I like what you're doing.
Advertise, this kind of advice, that. And then from there, they try to woo you, and before you know it, hey, can you mentor me? Mentorship should not be that way. Mentorship should be you who says, I need to be strengthened in this area. Who can be that person that can help in this area? And it's not about mentorship again. It's not necessarily about you having a program of some kind, because your business may be well developed that all that you need is one-on-one coffee with somebody who's been there before.
Yes.
And then you pay for that coffee for 1 hour. It can take you for 2 years full for that moment that you had with that particular person. Because some of them, you'll find that you may not have time. Again, let's understand that there's enough resources online. Doesn't have to be like, hey, Derrick, how can I? No. There are resources that are there, but you just need a soundboard. It's like a doctor. If I go to a doctor and say, I'm sick, they say you are, this is one of the articles I wrote in my book, which is Business Tips to My Daughter, inspired by my daughter, by the way, where we said, you must seek second opinion always. If you go to a doctor and the doctor says you are clean, do you know that it's difficult to look for another doctor to tell you are sick? But if you go to a doctor and says you are sick, you want to look for someone that will say you are clean. So don't settle for first-hand opinion always. Seek as much as you can. There are those who will want to be paid for sitting down with you. There are those who can give you time for free out of love. Then look at balance. Have a way of saying my budget for mentorship should come from self and personal development, like Emmanuel said.
Emmanuel, do you want to say something?
Yeah, just to add more, I love what he said. Mentorship is quite broad now. It's not always about a mentor of meeting people in a personal capacity. I got so many mentors that I never met them till today, but I go online, I read their books, I watch their interviews, and for me that's mentorship, But also your journey is also can be a great impact, You learn from your failures, and some of us also, we have failed so many times, And also it adds that element of growth. So also you can mentor yourself based on your journey and your experiences. But let's just use what we have. We have books, we have online present, and we can always learn from each other.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Yes, we have.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for the presentation and discussion. My name is Bolt. I'm an entrepreneur. I started a company called AppCrew, where we design applications for schools and churches. And I totally agree with what you were discussing about having a mentor and how a mentor can lower your pride. When I looked for a mentor, I found someone to mentor me, and I wanted him to mentor me on business. And to my surprise, he started talking about something outside business. And I thought my time was being wasted. I almost felt like he's the wrong person, because looking at his achievements, what he was discussing, over a cup of coffee, you talk about how many sugars they're putting in your tea, and it really bothered me. And slowly I started to understand that although he wants me to succeed, he also cares about my health. So these were issues that I wasn't looking for in a mentor, but he had to discuss about that because my success also depended on it. And I also discovered that we make a mistake of approaching a mentor based on what he has achieved, and we are not willing to go through the process. Because these people also have got a story to tell, but we might think that they are only there to listen to our stories and give us advice, and that's it. But they want you to go through the process. Of course, they will guide you, but you still have to walk the process. You still have to face challenges. And sometimes they may pretend they are not there. I mean, it's like in an exam, you go through the whole term learning something, but when it comes to the end of the term, the teacher is not going to work with you in the exam. You have to write it alone. So later on, I discovered that one statement to sum it up: a mentor is not someone who gives you instructions, but it's someone whose instructions or idea or advice you take.
Thank you. Do you want to say something?
No.
Okay.